Scott Souza, Metro West Daily News. Ray, I know how much you wanted to get back and play in the playoffs and how much you want to get back. You said it yesterday, get back to play tonight. Did you ever think that you were going to play 37 minutes?
No, I didn't think that I would be playing this soon. If I looked at how I felt last week, I think Kevin at some point he asked me, he said, do you think you're going to make it back for Kevin Garnett? He said, do you think you're going to make it back for the series? And I was like, it's not looking like it. The last 3 days have been, they've been pretty good with some of the things that I've been doing physically, and this last 2 days, it's like been night and day for me. Being able to get on the floor and move around and shoot and get into my routine. I've been so off routine for the last 2 months. It's like me being who I am. It's been tough, because you're almost on the outside looking in with trying to be a part of the team and trying not to be in the way, and it just being back on the floor, I felt alive. I felt like I was back in my own skin, and that was a great feeling.
You talked a little bit yesterday about kind of that determination that you made before game 2, that your teammates needed you, you had to get out on the floor. Was there kind of a realization that you made, or something that added to that conclusion that this is just something I've got to figure out how to do?
Yeah, I believe when you're sidelined with any type of injury, there's sometimes you allow your body to take over, and you just succumb to the injury or whatever soreness or pain that you're dealing with. And I know mine was real, and it still is real, but I've gotten to a point where I'm able to handle it a little bit better than maybe a week ago. From day to day, sometimes I don't know. I haven't known kind of how it was going to affect me, and so in the last 2 or 3 days, it's been it's probably been the best it's been. And again, I've been doing some things to help try to ail kind of the pain that I've had in my ankle, and it's been great. So from day to day, I don't know some days, and trying to give you guys answers is hard to really explain or give an answer. So it's been great, and I'm happy to be able to say that. And tomorrow's a new day, but again, I'm not going to it looking like a victim or feeling like a victim, coming out of it saying that it's going to be good tomorrow and then Sunday's going to be better.
CelticsHub. Ray, can you talk about just, obviously, you made the transition to coming off the bench from starting, and then the injury takes you out, and now you're looking at potentially broadening your shoulder, you might be thrust back in that starting role. Can you talk about just kind of, you're such a guy of routine, and kind of where this puts you in terms of getting back into the thing and just back into the flow?
I never really worried about, whether I was starting or coming off the bench. Obviously, I think starting is an ego. It's an ego thing. You say you're a starter, but really for as long as I played this game, the biggest compliment was the 5 guys that finished the game. I know Avery went down. We have a day and a half to rest and prepare for Sunday. So I'm pretty sure he'll recover. And if not, we have, if you look at our bench, from Beatrice to Sasha to Marquise, all 3 of those guys over the last 2 months have played well. So, whether Doc started me or not, it doesn't make a difference. Again, we get put in these situations before quarter, we got to have guys that are able to come in and make plays on both ends of the floor. So, it's the playoffs. All those, small little nuances that, we deal with as a team or as individuals, like, who's playing and who's not, we don't worry about that now. We just want to win games and more.
Steve Ballback, Boston Herald. Ray, how did the ankle feel during the game? How does it feel now? And do you have any idea how it will feel tomorrow? Any confidence or idea?
You started the game, it was great. I think going into half was when, it started tightening up on me, and I started noticing a little more than what I noticed, similar to what I've been dealing with. So just sitting on the sideline, just to do what I could to make sure I kept it tight or loose, and by stretching it. then once I went back in the game, you know, there's not really a moment to think about it. You know, your adrenaline rushing, you know, being in the building, my adrenaline is rushing. So now it's achy, and it feels like it's just mad at me a little bit. So I've been here before, and you know, it seems like I have all these safeguards in place. You know, when I get home, I know exactly what I need to do. You know, I have my contraptions to make sure that I'm able to go to sleep well. When I get up in the morning, making sure I get my treatment therapy. So I'm in a good place.
Jessica Camarado, Comcast Sportsnet. Ray, what kind of treatment did you have today, and what's the game plan moving forward?
Well, I had two forms of it based on when I first went down. You know, it was different because when my ankle was swollen, you know, I had to do whatever I can to keep it elevated, ice it, and, you know, superficially have a massage and try to, you know, decrease the blood and swelling there. So that was all I could do at one point in time. But once I got the swelling out, then I started working on, you know, mobilizing my ankle and making sure I got it moving the right way, because what happened was it was pinching, you know, against, you know, the ball was pinching, you know, like the front part of my ankle. And so every time I ran, it just wouldn't slide the right way. And so every day I just work on my calf muscles are probably my whole life I've got people have admired my calves, but they've been a detriment to me because they get tight. You know, when they get tight, my ankles don't move as much. So that's kind of something that I've been working on and getting therapy for is loosening them up and allowing my ankles my calves to absorb all the pounding so my ankles can move correctly. So it's a whole complex system of treatments that I go through, making sure that my legs are loose and, you know, my ankles kind of moving the right way before I step on the floor. And once I get that pinching, then you twist it and then the swelling comes back. So, like I said, I'm in a good place.
A couple questions, Ian?
Ray, can you remember a time throughout the league where so many important players have been hurt in the playoffs and really have affected the course of the playoffs?
I haven't, and you can, you know, you look at the course of the season. You know, it was a rat race from game one all the way to this point. You know, nobody really ever got a chance to rest or heal. And we say every time around this time of year that guys are hurt, guys are injured, but this time it's like serious injuries. You know, where guys are out for the playoffs, out for the season, whatever it may be. So that's just what we're dealing with. And you know, I just, you know, knock on wood, if this is wood, I hope it's wood, that our guys stay healthy. Because there's really, you have no answer for an injury. The guy goes down, you know, you just hope that you build a team where somebody can step in and help your team.
Ray, Mike Petrelli at WEEI.com. It seemed like you guys you individually were very intent on getting into the offensive flow quickly once you got into the game. Was that the case?
Yeah, well, I think over the course of these past couple of weeks, people have asked me, well, can you get in the game and just play 5 minutes? You know, just go stand in the corner and just makes my team going to shoot it. And I said, if I'm in the game, I'm in the game for the whatever amount of time Doc needs me to be in there. It's not like I'm going to come in, you know, for special situations. You know, if at that time I was telling you I can't do it based on, you know, how my leg feels. So I knew once I got out there, I was going to be out there to run up and down and move whichever way I needed to move. If I had to make a hard cut from one side of the floor to the other, I had to be ready to do that. And based on how my body came into today, I knew from yesterday and I knew from this morning that I was able to do that. And so I wasn't holding anything back. Once I got into the offense, you know, I still felt like I needed, you know, to settle in. You know, it just still felt, you know, I get comfortable and, you know, feeling the rhythm of the shot, like get used to the atmosphere. All those things, when you're comfortable and you're doing it, and there's a rhythm, that's where, you know, I look forward to growing that. But it was great, again, like I said, to be out there because, you know, the team, they welcomed me back, and I was glad to be out there for my guys. And, you know, it was great for the people that I got a great ovation when they came out on the floor. So, you know, the fans here have been great. You know, and I was glad to be back on the floor because I was ignoring people when they asked me how my ankle was doing after a while, so now they know. So.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you, folks.